There are no half measures in IT security. It is just like any other risk. It can be managed, but it's a relatively new form of risk and it requires a new kind of thinking in managing it, but it can be managed.
When you talk to a number of firms about the emerging threats that they see coming, they range from the noise issues, which are the ransomware, malware, through to advanced attacks against their systems, particularly if they're trying to provide online digital services.
Security leadership is about helping an organisation make an informed decision to manage foreseeable cyber risk. So when it comes to what are better practices, who should be making the decisions about security? It's the people that are making the decisions about risk, which are the people that are actually running the organisation.
A world-class culture in an enterprise around cybersecurity is one where the enterprise understands that cybersecurity is core to its very being, it's core to its existence. Without an appropriate approach to cybersecurity, it will fail as an organisation because it will let down its stakeholders, it will subject itself to legal penalties, regulatory penalties. But conversely, if you have that world-class approach to cybersecurity, then the kinds of initiatives that you can enable are almost limitless.
Everyone wants to know, are we in line with what our peers are doing? And benchmarking for percentage of security spend is a really tricky one. Everyone wants the comfort of knowing that somewhere between 4 and 6% of IT spend should be going to security. Some people want it to be 10%. The point is, are they actually spending it in the right areas that are actually making a difference for them?
Collaboration is key in overcoming cybersecurity threats. The bad guys are working together. They know no corporate boundaries, no international boundaries. Whereas the defenders are typically operating as islands, trying to look after their own organisation as best they can. So us defenders, we need to get together and share things like threat information, share things like incidents and how we manage those incidents. And there's a huge piece of work there that's absolutely necessary that we engage in as a business community and also between the business community and government.
I think the thing that everyone's got to recognise is that cyber risk, it's not a problem to be fixed, it's a condition to be managed. So this is going to be happening throughout time. We're never going to get to a finish line and go, we're done, we've got everything solved now. This will be something that is with us in the long term.
World class is about a state of mind, and that's what we'd like to see in Australia's businesses. Government has a critical role in cybersecurity. The government can either enable or inhibit the entire community when it comes to defending ourselves against the kind of threats we see in the cyber world today.
Look, I think it's really important that government sets the tone on cybersecurity across the nation. But really, the cybersecurity is an issue for governments, for industry, for academia, for all of us to tackle together. It's a shared responsibility.
A holistic approach to cybersecurity is critical to a country's economic success. Now, if we get cybercrime right, then we will enable new business models using the internet, will enable remote working, more transactions and interactions with government, with businesses, and that will have a measurable and very positive effect on our gross domestic product growth.
The internet is owned by all of us. It's not just the preserve of government alone. And we all have an equity and a stake in making sure that we have an open, free and secure internet. Essentially, our strategy is a roadmap for us. It's a pathway to growth, innovation and prosperity for Australia.
So what we're seeing now as a result of the launch of the cyber strategy is the creation of the Australian Cybersecurity Growth Network, the creation of the role of a special advisor to the Prime Minister, the special minister assisting the Prime Minister on cybersecurity, and even an ambassador on cybersecurity. All of these roles that have been created with specific outcomes that they've been tasked with creating. And this is world leading in terms of what we're doing.
Australia now has mandatory data breach legislation. And whilst many organisations might be concerned about that, for the industry and for business in general, it's a wonderful opportunity to rethink exactly what you need to protect and why.
One of the really interesting things we're seeing is the government playing its part really well in this space.
Government across all levels and all portfolios must be involved in collaborating and engaging around cybersecurity. The Australian Cybersecurity Centre brings together such capability under one roof and makes it possible to coordinate efforts and share knowledge across government agencies.
So there's the Joint Cybersecurity Centre that was opened in Brisbane recently, and you'll see more of those centres opened around Australia. And those are collaborative centres that bring the best of government and business together in order to tackle some of these bigger problems.
What we're really interested in seeing from the government is that kind of leadership which helps us understand how cybersecurity and cyber risk relates to the national well-being from particularly an economic perspective. It's the role of government to actually set the direction for this, saying we believe that this is the right way to go and here's the direction on how to do it.
I think there's often a perception that cybersecurity is an issue that doesn't touch on you as an individual, as a consumer. The reality is, of course, quite different. Individuals don't have the budget that a business has to address cybersecurity, so they need to think about very cost-efficient ways of securing their environment to the level that satisfies them.
From a lot of the conversations that I have, even with just friends and family, a lot of people are very concerned, but they feel that there isn't a lot of clear direction on steps that they personally can take.
For anyone who's using any technology nowadays, you also need to do your own basic housekeeping. You need to use password managers. You need to use two-factor authentication wherever possible to protect the information you're doing.
But if you also think about the analogy of a car, you don't just buy a car and then never get it serviced. You want to actually make sure that the equipment that you're using is fit for purpose. And so I would be advocating that people maintain that they're on the current level of software. We're hearing a lot about the Internet of Things, or IoT. A lot of people are talking as though this is a problem in the making, but it's a problem we've got right now.
The Internet of Things brings huge opportunity for individuals in terms of the dream of the smart home and being able to talk to your house and set your thermostat when you're on your way home. And again, it comes with some security challenges.
It's our job to fix it now. If we're going to be deploying billions of devices that are all connected to each other and to everything else online, we need to make sure that this isn't something which can be extremely easily compromised. There's too much at stake. So we need this to work. We need both the government, we need the enterprise, and we need connected individuals to be aware of the fact that they're operating in this environment where there are threats, but it's not something to be scared about, it's something to be taking action around. IoT is absolutely the future, and there's a way to do it which is better than the way that we're doing it now.
When it comes to cloud, the thing we need to remember is almost nobody is going to be all in or all out. There will be some small startups that are so early in their journey as a business that they're able to entirely rely on cloud services, but the vast majority of businesses are going to have a hybrid environment. A hybrid environment really is an extension of your on-premises environment, so the kind of policies that you have should just extend to the cloud, and the kind of controls you have in place should just extend to the cloud as well. So there's no point thinking about how secure cloud is or isn't. What we need to think about is how do we make our cloud presence just as secure as our on-premises presence.
For any organisation looking to use cloud services, they need to do some due diligence around the offering from the cloud provider. Let's face it, cloud providers, they need to get the security right because the viability of their business depends on it. And when you think about the size of many cloud providers, just a scale point of view, they're going to do it better than you.
I don't believe one environment has more risks than the other. I think both cloud and on-prem are entirely manageable from a risk perspective.
While on the secure side, the government has always had much more stringent requirements compared with other sectors, we see that the vendors are adapting and putting forward accredited solutions.
When you're working with a cloud provider, it's really important to ask those great questions that ensure that they're providing the services to you that are aligned to the needs of your business.